All right. So, yay, I'm so excited. Happy March. We got through celebration. Yay, woohoo. For those of us in Texas, we, survived. Good job. I think that was definitely not the ending to celebration that many of us wanted, but I think we did great. And I want to welcome Andy to the team. Andy, it's so nice to see you. She's there. Hey.
Hey.
Yay, we're so happy to have you back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
So I will tell you that my business development advisor was like, you really need to message a few more people. You said you were going to make this list and message people. And I'm like, you're right. I'm dragging my feet. And I texted Andy and I was like, hey, are you thinking about joining? And she's like, did I mention something to you? She's like, how did you know that I was thinking about that? And I was like, I did not. I was like, psychic powers tell me that, it was great. And so I think that just shows that, we do have a lot of people who come back to Stampin' Up. I know several other people. Sarah was a demonstrator before. Terry was a demonstrator before. We have several people on the team who've been demonstrators before. They come back. But it also just never hurts to ask, right? The worst that people can say is, no, thank you, not right now. Or no, thank you, not at all. Or, I had quite a few people who just couldn't do it right now, but they're interested. And we're going to have another celebration. Oh, Terry, I've got you twice. Which one should I mute?
Let me mute over here.
All right. I muted your face one. So
you muted your face.
I muted your face. Did not mean to say that. But I've just spent the weekend with a bunch of sassy sixth graders. So I don't know what's about to come out. So, but yeah, so I think it never hurts to ask people, and we have another celebration coming. So, I told Jill, I said, if this wasn't the celebration you dreamed of, guess what? You have a do-over in 2021. Like, it's amazing. So, and then we'll talk a little bit tonight about kind of where we are. And because Patsy, I remember we talked last week, she was like, okay, so we're getting a retiring list, but the mini catalog isn't going away. We can still order and I was like, yes, it's all very weird. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about on tour for those of you going. I'll just mention that I am asking for a list from Stampin' Up headquarters because when you registered this time, I don't know if you saw that, but there was like, can we tell your leader that you're registered or something? And you could like click it because they had stopped giving us the list of our teammates or our team members who were registered for events because of privacy concerns. I'm sure it's like GDPR, like it's probably because of the European demonstrators. But then they gave us this option to do this. So anyways, I'll probably start a little thread that says like who's going to on tour, and then we'll pull our messaging out and do a private chat. Because I don't want that to like clog up the feed. And last time we did a private chat in a group and the group got like hardly any traction, but the chat got a lot. So we'll do the chat. And so if you're going on tour now, because we're all hitting on tour at different days, that'll be interesting. And so we'll go through and, if you're attending it and you're excited about something, share it. I'll start it, at the beginning of April, and then we'll, just kind of pull it through and see what happens. Okay. So let me talk to you about this month's project kit. Let me show you kind of the pieces and where I was and where we're going and kind of the ideas behind it. So this was my free class to my customers if they attended my Super Bowl Saturday event. They had two kits that they worked on. One was the, wait for it. Whatever this one is. One was the Hello Dear Friend. Oh yes, that's what it's called. Hello Dear Friend, which is a really pretty kit that has the like vellum kind of brass pieces. And it's a beautiful kit. It's got lots of pretty cards. It was great. And so, but what came out of that was that I knew then that everybody would have a stamp set, and they also had an extra set of these like pre-die cut pieces. So what you got was all of the black and white paper. And well, I'm going to talk you through all the coloring techniques, and I'll show those. And then you're just going to punch and die cut whatever shape you want. You all have dies or a punch or something. Go punch yourself 5 shapes and, use the sentiment set. One of the reasons I did it this way for you guys is because I want to show you that, you can make really pretty cards and use any sentiment set. These could be birthday cards. They could be sympathy cards. They could be Mother's Day, Easter. Honestly, it's black and white paper. It's beautiful. It's floral. You can do whatever you want with this. So I'm going to pin this. Okay. And I'm going to move my laptop out just a little bit. Do you like my little cheat sheet? Jonathan got me this sticker that I can have on my Mac so that I remember all the keystrokes on the Mac.
Ooh, where do you find that?
Amazon, of course.
Oh,
I know.
I'm writing that down.
I'm a Mac dummy, so I need all the help I can get. So
me too.
Yeah. That's a special level. So in your kit, you got a strip of the gold glimmer enamel dots. I hope these do not retire. I would be tragically sad if they do. I like them because they're really flat. If you have not gotten your kit and you ordered one, it's on the way, I promise. I know the mail has been really wacky lately. What it's doing now is, even if I bring them to the post office, it's not scanning in until like a day before it gets to you, which is really weird. So like I can watch the tracking and then nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, like bing, boom, bing, it's in St. Louis. And now it's at Terry's house one day later. Like, I don't understand. It like goes off the grid for like a week and then it like appears. So anyway, driving me crazy. Okay. So normally I wouldn't like show all the cards, but these have some techniques and stuff to them. So I'm not going to make them totally, but I'm going to show you the pieces. So everybody got a nice 12 by 4 piece. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yep, 12 by 4 piece of designer series paper. And there's a couple different patterns. There's a lot of this kind of what I would call very busy floral pattern. There's some really pretty open work floral, right? Like this is a nice open work floral. I don't call this busy. This is busy. But there's several different patterns of this. And I will put some directions together so that you can have the measurements later, but you score it at 1 inch and then you score it at, it's 1, 4 1/4. And I want to say it's, so 2.5 from the end. So 9.5. And what this does is it creates your card base and it creates a little flap here. And so you can decide, do you want all the floral on the outside or do you want that? You're going to put this white piece on the inside to give it some stability. So this is a nice way to use up your designer series paper if you're looking for ways to use up your DSP. And then you're going to, in this case, I did this 2 different ways. I can't find the other one. I did one where I like colored all of the floral. I had it flipped. And then I did one where I just colored a little bit of this. So you can see I used my watercolor pencils. So that way you're not having to color a bunch, right? And then you're actually going to adhere this entire thing onto your black panel, right? And this is standard card size, 4 1/4 by 5.5. So this gives it lots and lots of stability. This just lets you write on the inside. So, but I just use the watercolor pencils for this one. Let me pull mine out. And Carolyn, a lot of this comes from you asked a really good question at a meeting a while back about like the blender brushes and how to use them. And so, this is definitely,
Well, I was asking what's better to have, the blenders or the markers?
yeah. And that was the blends versus the markers. Yeah.
Right.
And that's preference, right? I mean, I would say,
Well, yeah, some of the videos I've been watching, they use water, most use the blend. So I'm trying to build up my blends first, and then I'll get the markers.
yeah, I really like I like the, I'm actually going to keep this folded over. So I like the watercolor pencils. One reason I like watercolor pencils is because they're affordable. You can get like a set for like 12 and then another set for 15. There's 2 different sets. There's the original watercolor pencil set, and then there's like the kind of newer bright set.
Well, I like the markers because you can put them on the stamps.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've seen a few videos. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, the marker to stamp is a fun technique. So now I'm using this is the blender pen, right? That's got that sucralose kind of substance in it. And now I'm just adding a little bit of that so that I can move my watercolor pencil color around. So then that's going to make our very pretty roses. And then I can add a little bit of color, for the other ones. So one of the reasons this black and white paper is pretty is because, it's pretty just black and white. But if you add a touch of color, it's really nice. But a lot of people don't want to color a large area. Like they don't find coloring therapeutic. Other people love it. And so for your color haters, this is a nice way to kind of show them that they can be messy. And so I want to, be clear, like I'm not really working hard to get this color in here perfect, right? Like I'm just very messily adding some color, and then I'm very messily coming in and putting this blender pen down and carrying that through, right? So this doesn't have to be a fine-tuned event, and I want to make
sure. Blender pen the same thing as the color lifter?
No.
Oh.
So this is the blender pen. This is a set. You get 3 of them in a set, and you use this to do anything you would with water, but when you don't want a ton of liquid, right?
Okay.
Because it comes out really fine, and you are going to get a little bit of liquid, right? And it has it's like a sugary type syrup almost. It's not that sugary, but it's like it's a little more viscose than water. Does that make sense? Like it's got a little bit more hang.
All right, I'll look that up.
Yeah, these are great. And you'll get a set of these. And I think I've only gone through 2 sets in like 7 years or something. Like a set of these will last forever. Sarah, I'm sure you still got some from like your first time as a demo, right?
Yeah, I do actually. I bought new ones because I wanted fresh ones, and then I had like 20 of them.
Yeah, it is nice to get a fresh set. That I don't like that the tips become kind of like miscolored, Yeah. So I'm just adding a bunch of color in here, and I'll come back and do that later. But I want to just show you just a little bit of this, and then on this one, I decided to go whole hog and took Wink of Stella and just put Wink of Stella all over it as well on just that piece that I colored. So you get like a little bit of like sheeny shine. So
love it.
I know, I love Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella works pretty similar to the blender pen. It's just obviously you're laying down a lot of glitter. And then I like to take this panel back because I think it just makes it a little bit sturdier, when you're putting the whole thing together. So, and then on this one, this was some leftover twine from the kit. But it is really pretty. If you don't have that kit, there's like a copper twine in there that's really pretty. So
Melissa, did you say the blender pen is to be used with watercolor?
It can be used with our water-based inks, so all of our ink pads and our
Water-based?
watercolor and our watercolor pencils.
Okay.
Mhm.
Water-based. Okay, so not like with the regular stamps.
Well, you can't really do anything with the stamps, but what you can do is if you have an image, here, let me stamp something real quick and show you. Oh, I need a scrap. Hold on. Okay. So this is like a a very old Girl Scout stamp, but I'm just gonna stamp it. This is a nice wood mount stamp that is completely retired. But let's say I stamp an image, okay, and I stamped it with my regular ink pad. I can bring my blender pen in. I make sure it's nice and clean over here, and that side is definitely not clean. So, okay. And then I can take this and I can actually pull the color from the sides.
Oh,
And
I
it will
see.
like, and then I could even,
Yeah.
if I really wanted to, I could pull some from the ink pad
I
and I can
see.
just get my little tip in here and I could really make it green, right?
Okay, and this is, does it have to be watercolor paper?
Nope, it doesn't.
Oh,
And that's what's nice is because it doesn't put a lot of liquid down. It's not going to tear or pill your paper.
okay, got it. Thank you so much. That's, oh God, that's beautiful. I have to have that.
Yeah, I love
I'm
these.
making my list.
Yeah, and I
Thank
love these.
you.
I think they're a great tool. And I think that coloring classes are a great way to show people our tools, because I feel like we just don't do our tools, enough justice, I think. So, and we have a lot of really great tools. Okay, so this one is sort of a nakedy card. There's not a lot to it except some flowers and the really pretty square vellum doilies that I hope don't retire, because that would be very sad. I actually like these doilies. I don't like doilies normally. So you'll notice with yours that everybody got like a different layout for their flowers, and that's okay. We don't have to, you don't have to color the whole thing. I'm going to get, that's Cajun Craze, so that's not going to work. All right, so with these, I used the blend markers. I thought that they went best with this. And I do like the Just Jade blend marker. And so for the greenery, that's what I used, was Just Jade. And so I like, yeah. And so I just brought in a little bit of the dark with the fine tip, the bullet point. And then I come back with the brush point and I'll add a lot more of the light and kind of blend that in. And then just be real careful around those edges if you're using the blends, the alcohol markers, because it likes to creep. And this is designer series paper, so it's not quite as sturdy as our white cardstock. And then I put on the inside of the flower, I chose to do Poppy Parade because I thought it would have some good contrast, which is an interesting, probably color choice for the middle of the flower, but I don't know. I thought it was
It goes
good
pretty
one.
with the cardstock.
Yeah, I think
It
it's
brings
pretty.
out the cardstock. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then
beautiful.
I I think you guys got the, I think I tried to give everybody whole flowers, but if you have a partial flower, you can layer the other one on top, or you could also have it go off the edge, right? So when I fussy cut this one out, I'm just going to have it kind of dangle over here. So I'll make it look like I intentionally, did that. And so that was one of the things when you're trying to get a lot of flowers out of paper. And let's say you've got a big class or you've got a lot of people coming and you're like, oh, how am I going to, make sure you use your edges too.
What'd you use for the flower again?
So on this one, I'm using, because I had to switch y'all's cardstock. So my original had Flirty Flamingo, but I don't have it. So now I'm using Calypso Coral. So now I'm using Calypso Coral for the flower.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yes, and we had my cardstock supplies. They got hit pretty hard. I'm regrouping. Actually, I'm going to place a pretty big supply order because I was like, but for some reason I've got like 9,000 pounds of Granny Apple Green. So I don't know why I thought that.
You know how
I have a
quick
quick question.
Yeah.
I noticed that maybe I do it backwards, and I noticed that when you were just now coloring your flowers, that you're doing the dark and then you do the light. Is there a particular reason why you did the dark and then the light? Because I usually do the light and then I go over an accent with the dark. So
yeah. So I like to use the light to kind of blend the dark out.
that makes sense. Okay.
Right. And so I lay a lot of light down, right, in order to do that.
Okay.
But other people will do the light and then they'll add the hint of dark.
Yeah, and I've done it that way, and I don't really like how it turns out. I always feel like, oh my God, there's so much dark. It's not my intention. I never thought about doing the dark and then blend in the light. That makes total sense. Thank you for that.
Yeah, this is the way I like to do it, but I will tell you that like Erica Serwin and some of the other like big demos, they're very much into like doing the light and then adding, just a little bit of the dark. But I prefer to do the dark. And
Alyssa, I like to do the light, then the dark, and then I go back with the light.
And I do usually dark, then light, and then sometimes I'll touch it up with some dark. So, we're probably all doing the same thing in the end, right?
Yeah.
And in the end, we're just using a lot of markers. So, with paper like this, right, Stampin' Up! Gives you a lot of guidance as to like where your dark and light should go anyway, right? So it's not like you're reinventing the wheel on this one, right? Like you've got a pretty good sense of, where you are supposed to be. And I mean, the nice thing about the alcohol markers is that you can't really peel up the paper. It's very hard to do, even on this DSP. Like you can go over it and over it and over it, and nothing's really going to happen to it. And then the color lifter, right? The color lifter is great if you've messed up, right? We love that. But it's also a nice way. So see, now I'm going back and I'm going to add a little bit of, so you can kind of see the, kind of what it looks like when you add a little bit of dark later. But you can also take the color lifter and like, let's say you want one petal to be really light, or you're like, ooh, I really want a nice highlight there. You can actually just come in and you can just use your color lifter, kind of like you would a marker, right? And then it'll lift that color out. If you're like, ugh, that's way too dark there, you can actually just come in and do that too. It's also great for, fixing your boo-boos, which I went way out of the lines there, and then, the unfortunate thing about this card is then you have to fussy cut it, so for those of you who, love that, that's the that's what you would have to do here. So for this one, you know, I would have to kind of, this one would probably go over on the side, and then I would kind of layer this one underneath here. So this would go behind here. But I think I tried to give you guys more of these big flowers, or like more whole ones when I was working on the kits. So I would just layer that one probably down there, you know, like that. So still very cute. Easy to do. And then of course, you know, you've got fun stuff on the back too. So I definitely saw someone who used the one that has the polka dots. That was really cute. She did a really cute card with that on the demonstrator planning place. So, okay. So the other cards, so this one uses the brayer, which I think the sponge brayer doesn't get enough attention.
Love you, bye.
So this is our sponge brayer, right? And he doesn't get enough love. But it's really easy to create an ombre look when you use the sponge brayer. So we're gonna grab some maybe Daffodil Delight, some Granny Apple Green. And then I think I put a hint of Mango Melody on this one as well.
I don't think I have that.
So all you do is just get your little sponge brayer. It looks like you're doing nothing, but you're actually picking up quite a bit of color. And I'm just rolling. And I'm changing my direction, right? So we don't get any crazy lines or anything. And so I'm just adding some color. And then I'm gonna do my Mango Melody. So I'll work from light to dark. I'm gonna kind of put some, so I'm using the same sponge and the same brayer, and I'm just kind of adding some, you know, adding some pretty color here. And then I'm gonna come on this side. I'm gonna get my green.
Now, what's the difference between that or just using the blending brushes?
So, you know, that's a good question. I wonder if they're going to retire these. Like that is something I was kind of wondering, was like, would there be a purpose for them in the new annual catalog? And if they retire them, then the answer is there's no difference. But I like them. I think they're honestly a little bit easier to use than the blending brushes. I think they lay down in a more even, like I don't get the dark spots that I get with the blending brush.
Okay.
And so I feel like you just get a more smooth, like ombre look when you're doing it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, and if they retire them, well, then I'll be sad. And there goes one of my, you know, my favorite little tools that I like to use. So this card, all you're going to do then is, this is the one that was so popular last spring that Bruno came up with.
Scrappy technique.
Yes, the scrappy technique. Thank you, Kathleen. You have all the words today. I have none of the words. Thank you. So all you have to do on this one is just get your chopper, whatever cutter you have, and you're just going to cut some pieces randomly. And you're going to have more than you need because you don't need this much. And I gave you guys, so you could put this on the white. I'm not sure I like it with the white background. So you could try it on just the piece of foil that you have and see if you like that better. Like, do you like to have the reflective foil in between the pieces? or do you like to have the, you know, the white? I think that the white makes it pop a little bit more. But I'm not sure. I think it also draws attention to the fact that maybe not all the lines are even. So, let's see. Is that one go there? No, that definitely does not go there. Do want your flowers to line up? So if you know, start randomly cutting, but try to kind of space them out, and then you'll just glue those down, and then you'll trim a little bit on the back, but you won't need all of it. Like I definitely gave you guys a longer piece than you need. So you can choose if you like it with the black, with the white background, or if you like it with the foil. If you do that, then you'll just want to cut the white down. If you don't do that, you can just use the white as a liner, you know, for your card. So I gave you options. Yeah.
I have not invested in the sponge brayers yet. And with my other art, I always have used the rubber brayers. Do you see a difference between, and I haven't done the brayer method at all with Stampin' Up. Do you know if there's a difference?
You know, that's a good question. So I use the rubber brayer, but I have a rubber brayer. I only use it when I'm trying to do like a background stamp and I'm trying to get even pressure and I don't want to use my hands. I generally don't lay down a ton of ink with my rubber brayer. I think that you would get a smoother, more even coverage.
With the rubber brayer or the
sponge?
The sponge. Okay. Yeah, it's been on my list for a couple of years now, actually. And I hate to break down when I've got 3 brayers.
I know. I mean, I have my rubber brayer. I have a speedball, you know, from when I used to do printmaking and stuff. And I mean, I like it, but I don't use it for our water-based inks.
Okay, that's fair.
We used to
I
put
should just
bands
bite the
on
bullet and
it.
sit my butt down and do it.
We used to just put rubber bands on it and make like weird patterns with the rubber bands.
Cute.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. And you did that kind of rubber band type thing as well on a block too, didn't you, Sarah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would be the cleaning method of that brayer, that sponge brayer?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So honestly, just doing this, like, I mean, now pretty much all the ink is gone. Like I can get a piece of white out and I'm going to get a little bit of yellow on here, but not a lot. But I also just wash them in the sink and air dry them. They're like spongy. And I've had this one for 7 years. Nothing's happened to it.
So I guess you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, like they didn't mold, they air dried. I mean, it was in Charleston too, where the humidity is definitely a lot higher than here. So I think that this is if it doesn't retire, I think it's a good tool, you know. If it retires, then you know, whatever, get it while you can, right? You know, for your own personal edification, right?
What would replace it?
The blending brushes.
Ah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're a replacement, quote unquote, you know, that's what I'm curious to see. The retiring list will tell us for sure. So this one's the spotlight technique. And I didn't know if you guys had a hole punch. So I went ahead and made the executive decision to, not a hole punch, but like a circle punch. So I went ahead and circle punched your piece for you. And then I don't think yours has, I don't think I did scallops on y'all's because they didn't turn out as nice. But this is the finished card for that. And this one's interesting. I ended up doing a combination. I wanted it to look like a tea rose and I couldn't really figure out how to do it other than to put the blends on the tips and then just add a little bit with my sponge dauber. So I took my Flirty Flamingo and I went in. I love tea roses. They're my favorite. And I just added a little lip of pink on all of the tips of the rose. And you could do, I'm doing the light Flirty Flamingo. I think on the other one I did the dark Flirty Flamingo. I don't think it matters. So what I wanted to show with this is that you don't have to do just one thing. Like if you're not getting the look you want with the tool you're using, you can mix and match, you know. I think sometimes we get caught up. We're like, oh, I want to show the blends and I can't show anything else. Or I want to show the watercolor pencils and I can't show anything else. But not all the coloring tools do the same thing, right? So I just went through here and added this to all the edges. So I just added some pink. I'll show you guys. I'll get closer to the camera. So just added a little bit of pink everywhere. And then I'm going to get my sponge stubber, which is still my favorite tool. I think I will like these better than I'll like the other ones probably for a long time. And I'm just getting some So Saffron ink. And I'm just starting in the center of the rose and kind of going out. And then I'm just going to lightly touch the other ones. There we go. Nice. And then what I might do is I might come in and add a little bit of like green marker to the leaf. Just because maybe I don't want to use my sponge dauber to do that. And the stems, which there's not a lot in this segment, but there's a lot more stem in this one. So, and then you just pop that up with dimensionals. I also wanted to show you all the foil. This is the foil. Jill, you use this in the Lovely Suite. The Valentine's, it's that foil that has like all the different colors, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. And when I ran out of one, I ended up making another. So if you take the silver foil and put like a soft suede with a sponge, it almost kind of came really close to the same color.
Oh, that's funny.
It's in the pack because I had done all mine really early and I was going to be in New York and I gave out all my packets and I'm just trying to think of where I put those cards. I can show you. But yeah, I kind of ran out and I was like, oh, let me see if I can make it. It was, oh, here we go. Oh, this
Here,
one.
I'll unpin. Let me unpin. We can pin you. Let's see. Pin. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was the color. And then I had, this one is kind of part of my demo and part of my extra supplies, but I had the a silver layer or the pinky silver layer in here, and then I had this one, and so it had to be kind of close. It couldn't be like something completely different. But I took this soft suede and I just kind of rubbed the edges, and it came out pretty good. I was surprised. It was like one of my 11th hour hunts.
Because I think it's like it's supposed to be what, Sahara sand or something, right? Is the color of the foil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you can, even when those are gone, you can kind of sponge some color over like silver or gold and it'll still look nice.
Mhm. And then this one, let's see. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, that's interesting. Now we're both pinned. Okay, there we go. And then on this one, I ended up using a Pear Pizzazz card base again because Flirty Flamingo was in, you know, high commodity over here. And you could do this with the sponge daubers, or you could do this with the I don't think that you could do this with the blending brushes because it's too tiny, you're too targeted, right? So I use the sponge daubers for this. And I have, you know, I don't know, a good you know, half a dozen of these or so. And I use them, you know, for all sorts of different, you know, projects and stuff. And I could probably get a new set at some point in my life, you know, but like you, Terry, I'm like, it's good enough, you know, like.
And different spongy material with the new ones, the newer ones. I have the old ones, they're very spongy. The newer ones are almost more like a really fine cosmetic, like triangle.
Oh,
I'm just different on them, I think.
you know, I don't know when the last time is I got them. Like I was trying to think about, like, you know, the last time I got myself a fresh batch of sponge daubers.
Yeah.
So I just like to come in, you know, I come in really heavy in the middle. I try to dab off a little bit and then, you know, come heavy in the middle and then, you know, kind of go light on the outside. Make sure I hit, you know, all the pieces, all the flowers with a little bit of pink. You know, they do hold quite a bit of color. These are the ones that I don't cross mix my sponge daubers much. Like if it's a green or a blue, I'm not going to cross mix it. And so it could be that you know, you want to just come in and add a little bit of color. You can kind of aim this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that, you know, a little bit of color will bleed over and that's okay. You know, you can add a little bit to the leaves. You can angle as well. And
New
you can
question.
color these. Yeah.
Okay, with the alcohol inks, you know, when we're blending, and I have the blender pen, but for the love of God, it's brand new and I have no idea where it is. But if you work your alcohol inks over and over and over, does it not do the same thing as a blender pen? Or is the blender pen different and in what way?
I mean, so your alcohol inks will do alcohol though. They won't mix. Your blender is only for water, right?
But maybe I'm talking about the wrong kind of pen.
Okay.
There's an alcohol pen that removes color.
Yes, the color
Right.
lifter.
It's
So
this one.
will that not blend?
No.
I
It
kind
will-
of over everything and it kind of just, I feel like it finishes everything sometimes, but it's not really blender.
No, it lifts. So it could actually suck the color off of your page.
Has it got bleach in it?
I don't think it's bleach, but it is weird. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's weird. It will just literally take the color right out of the project.
All righty.
So it
for
is,
that
yeah,
clarification.
yeah, it is very different than the blender pen. I think they function, it's almost like an eraser, right? You know, or like the Tide pens, you know, that kind of like, you know, like I think of it
Yeah.
more as a Tide pen and less of a, you know, as a blender.
Okay.
And I wish that they didn't have similar names, like the blender pen with the blends and right, like, you know, that would be, you
That's
know,
why I asked so many questions.
I know, because it's so confusing. And then this one, you're just going to cut the strips into 1.5 inch strips. So you're just going to do 1.5 and then 1.5, hopefully. And hopefully I can still get them all lined up again. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, and I went a little bit darker on this one, and that's okay. I still think it'll be super cute. And that's a nice way, you know, you can space out your floral stuff and get a little bit of like rest for the eye. You know, I think sometimes the florals are a lot, these are busy, you know, so this looks really nice. So, and each one of them is going to look very, very different. So, and you all are free to use whatever coloring techniques you want, whatever coloring tools you have. You know, this is just me giving you my best coloring advice, you know, that I have. So, all right. So I'm going to pull all the final cards back so that you can see them. So we've got one, and let's see, I'll make sure they're all in frame. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Stampin' Up right now, because there's a lot going on. All right, there we go. Okay, so if you don't read the Tuesday updates, this would be a good month to do it because there's a ton going on. Oh, I see some chat. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. If you don't mangle mentally, what color to use? Bumblebee. Oh yeah, nice suggestion. Yes, that's kind of a forgotten color in my color situation. Bumblebee's it's so rich,
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty yellow. So Bumblebee, good suggestion. A couple of things that were in the announcements or that I don't want you guys to miss or forget. Last week in the weekly updates, there was an update about the business development program. So getting a BDA, and they're doing registration for the business development program. If you're interested in getting a BDA, you don't have to be at a certain title level. You don't have to be, right? Like you definitely should have some goals in mind and things that you want to do, but it could just be like, I want to have a really good first 6 months, or I want to be able to figure out how to transition post COVID, right? Now that it looks like things might be opening up some more, or, whatever. It is on a first come, first serve basis, but I think doing the BDA registration is good. It gets you in the habit of doing it. The other thing, several of us have had a BDA. I currently have one. The other thing they're doing is an accelerated BDA program, and they offered it when you did the registration form, and it said, do you want to have a call every week or every other week? So like, do you want to do 3 months and have a call every week? Or do you want to do the traditional 6 months and have a call, pardon me, every other week?
What did you say, Melissa, on that one? I said, yes, I would be part of the test group.
I did not say yes.
Two different experiences. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think that they definitely want people, like, if that's appealing to you and you think like, yes, I want every week, I want some accountability, but I want to hit it hard and fast for 3 months and then be done. I think that could be a good option, but for me, it's too fast. And I don't have enough time to do my homework and like what I need to do, in between calls if I'm doing them weekly. So I was just being honest with myself, I think, in that moment. So, but I do think if you're interested in it and you're willing to do weekly calls, you might have a better chance of getting in, because
I
Mhm.
did accelerated.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And no one's heard back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I have
The other thing that was,
funny story. Can I tell my really funny story right here?
yeah, totally.
So I'm on with my BDA, and she's telling me to sign up for the next, session. So I'm like, okay, let me just make sure I know where it is. And while she was on the phone, I was, clicking along, okay, current, whatever, and I'm in there, and I have the screen up, and it says like, I even forgot what the screen says at the top, but the second line said, watch Sarah's YouTube channel. And I just started a YouTube channel, and I'm like, did they personalize this a little bit more now? Like, why does it say watch my video channel? And then it said something else about, guidelines. And I said to Elise, I'm like, did they change these screens? Like, how do they know I have a video channel and it's on here? And I click it, and it's Sarah Douglas's. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, I didn't think they changed anything. I'm like, I just was in that frame of mind. I saw my name, and that was
Gosh. That's so funny. Yeah, I think it's interesting. So they're changing it a little. They're not going to give you the same BDA that you've had before, which I think is good. You'll hear some different advice and, get some different perspective. So if it's something you're interested in, and if you have questions, please let me know. They are accountability partners. They are not going to build your business for you. They don't honestly give a lot of advice either, right? It's more accountability, goal setting, helping you with momentum. For me, keeping,
Describe them, Melissa.
yeah.
Describe them as almost like a therapist. You just keep on talking until you get a good idea and they agree with you, and then you mark it down as your goal. I just felt like that was like they just let you keep going and go. And me, I can just keep going. So
See, I get uncomfortable talking about myself like that. And with you guys, I'm really comfortable, and you know me personally, but they don't know me. And I get
something
freaky.
as silly as like I've had a goal for weeks now, and my goal is to have it done by the time the program's over in the next 2 weeks. But I had something as silly as like updating my last name on my page, because I have Cuomo on everything and my page is still Sarah Muso. So if somebody's going to search for me, they're not going to find me. So it's even something as small as that.
Yep. I think that was, the BDAs have helped me through a name change in my business, right? Like I went from Stampin' by the Sea to C2C Stampers. They helped me. And I had one BDA, literally, it took me 6 months to do that because I had to change everything. I had to change my website. I had to change my business cards. I had to change my stamps. I had to change my, right? Like it was awful. And I was dragging my feet, right? I knew I needed to do it. And I just needed the push and the guidance and the help to do it. Right. They've helped me get situated in a new town when we moved to Austin, and I was like rebuilding, so I think that each BDA helps in a little different way. I think that wherever you are in your journey, it is a business development advisor though. Like it's a business. Like if you want to do this as a business, if this isn't a business, then that's not it. Like don't do it if it's a hobby. But I did want to bring that up. And if you don't get in this round, it's okay. I just wanted you guys to know about it. And when they open it again, you'll have a better idea. The other thing is they announced Brenda Stir is going to do a webinar on Facebook Live on Thursday, March 25th at 2:00 Mountain. So convert that for yourself. Which is in the middle of the day and is super annoying, but they'll have it recorded. So, whatever, you can always go back. But it's on the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is the Facebook group. And so you can go back and watch it there. They're also doing one for leaders with Brenda Stir as well. And I'll definitely let you guys know, kind of the content of that. I'll take notes and I'll give you, the skinny on that. And then Paper Pumpkin, the one for this coming month is ice cream. Super cute. Super cute. Fun shapes. I think parents, grandparents will love it. I think the kids are going to love it. I think I'm going to have a ball with it. If you love, like Melissa, I immediately thought about you because you love that ice cream set to begin with, right? Like, I just think that it's going to be great. So I'm really excited.
Is it cards, Melissa, or is it?
It is
just for kids.
Nope, it's cards.
Okay.
And they're shaped. One set is shaped like popsicle. It has a handle and it's like a card shaped like a popsicle.
Okay.
And then the other one is a half moon. It's a semicircle and there's rainbows and I think watermelons.
Cool.
Yeah, they're really cute, but they are like standard size envelopes. I went and looked at it again because I was like, okay, let me I always like to look and make sure that I know my, my situation. And they're 4.5 by 5 3/4 envelope. Yep. So that's a standard size envelope. So I think they definitely heard us about that. Definitely check inventory status report. If you missed us kind of hashing at the first few minutes, there's a lot and things will start to move quickly that are going to be retiring. So for instance, if you love the end colors that are going away, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, Terracotta Tile, Rococo Rose, Purple Posy, they're retiring. You don't need to wait 2 weeks to go get your ink or your markers or your refills or your paper, right? Like if you want it, get it now. You know, it's retiring. Like, you don't have to wait for the retiring list on that. And I will just say that as other things start to retire, that inventory status report will get really busy. And I think we'll see a lot of movement. So this is a very strange time where we have the mini catalog is going to keep going while the annual catalog is coming in, right? And then the mini keeps going. And so, but we're going to know what from the mini is retiring definitely way before it retires, because if it's not retiring, it's going to be in the new annual, right? So it's a weird cycle, and it's definitely this is the news cycle every spring. So this is what we'll have to get used to, but this will be the first spring that we kind of live through it.
Melissa, may I ask you, on the
Yeah.
retiring products, how long do we have to order those? Or are
There.
they retiring when the new catalog comes out, or how long do we have to order those?
So that's a good question. So retiring is usually while supplies last, unless it's stamp sets, because stamp sets they can make in Canab, right? They're made locally. So they usually, and they'll tell you when they put out the retiring list, the stamp sets they'll guarantee for a week until the end of the catalog. So if the catalog ends, so if the catalog ends on May 3rd, they'll usually guarantee the stamp sets for about a week before that. So you'll have until like April 25th or something, let's say. But when they put out the retiring list, they will tell us that.
Okay.
But everything else will be while supplies last.
Okay.
I want to add something in here, and if I'm wrong, Melissa, you jump in.
Yeah.
We have the clearance rack. Well, you'll see some things that, they're retired, and they'll maybe a couple months down the road, they'll go on to the clearance rack. For the new people, they don't put stamps on the clearance rack because they recycle those. So if you're thinking you can get, a certain stamp at clearance price, no, you cannot. You better get it now. If you love it and it's retiring, get it now, because you'll never see it again unless you're selling it online.
Thank you.
That's good, Terry, because, and you're right, very rarely do they put stamps on sale at all. They'll never show up in the clearance rack. The stuff that's in the clearance rack is usually DSP, old punches, ribbon, embellishments, right?
Dies, yeah.
Dies. Yeah, you will see dies. But because we locally source our stamps, they don't have to overproduce, right? Basically. And so they're never going to have like a surplus of those. And if they do, they'll donate them before they put them on sale.
Okay.
So good point. Thanks, Terry. So,
all right. Thanks.
Yeah, good. Retiring times are crazy. Hey, Kathleen, what's up?
Sorry, I was going to say something, but once you're done.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Just as a reminder, since we're on the topic of what's coming up, that what's retiring list comes out March 24th, is what you said.
Yes.
The other date in March to be mindful of is the 31st, which is the mailing selector ending date for the annual catalog. So if you want to go ahead and do that by yourself, more power to you, but it is pretty heavy and a lot to ship. The mailing selector, I believe, is $4.50 to send out. So if you want to do that, make sure you do get that in by the 31st.
Yeah, and I will say it will be a priority shipping probably for your catalog. And so you're going to pay $7.50, $7.75, $8.50, whatever, to mail that annual catalog. So it is 100% worth it to mail it through the catalog selector. Thank you, Kathleen, for that. Kathleen, will you put up a little announcement about that in our group so that I don't forget it? Thank you. And then I just checked inventory status report, Patsy, and the Seaside spray is on there, the ink refill. It says March 29th. Yeah, so there's 4,000 coming to the warehouse and 1,000 on back order.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
And I will tell you that inventory status report, I mean, it gets updated, every day. So definitely be keeping an eye on it if there's something you're keeping an eye on. Yeah, so we've got old catalog stuff, new catalog stuff. We still have a catalog. We're going to be like in 3 catalogs all at one time, which is a little crazy. But it'll be good. Think about, spring catalog items. What are things that you definitely like, classes that you're still interested in doing. Like I haven't done the ice cream class yet. I'm still going to do it. That's definitely something I felt like it was not warm enough to do that. But now I think it is. Yeah, today was good, so I'm like, okay, we could do the ice cream class. But Mother's Day, what are some of the fine art gallery, fine floral gallery, whatever that one is, would be lovely for Mother's Day. Like, thinking about Easter. I'm doing the Easter class with Springtime Joy, which I'm super excited about, which is the little bunny and the lamb. So cute. So don't forget, I know we all get caught up with the new catalog, but don't forget about the spring catalog. And the things that you loved in the annual catalog that you don't want to forget about either. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is, I want to have everybody share a project, and then who got the door prize this month? Because, yay! I think that I didn't write them down, which is really funny. But if you got a door prize, you got a little baggie. And so Terry, open up your baggie. Let's see your door prize. And then that'll give everybody a moment. If you want to get a project that you're working on, I'd love to see a project. So, but let's see your prize, Terry.
I'm coming.
Here, I can pin you. I'm gonna pin you.
So I love the sea, or I wouldn't be called Sea Island Stamper. I got the bag.
Yeah, so cute.
And I believe you hand stamped this.
I did hand stamp that.
It's gorgeous. I love it. I mean, I just love, I have used the other one we got at Orlando. I think it was Orlando, until it's almost falling apart on the inside. And then I got this. I didn't buy this, and I'm glad I didn't, because now I have it. I got the Seaside Spray ribbon.
With that burlap.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just really cute. Really. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a pretty ribbon. So the bags are really easy to make. You can get them on Amazon. They're just canvas makeup bags. And you just stamp them with Stays On ink. And so you can stamp, I tried a couple of different things. I kind of knew I wanted to stamp those seashells, and that's from the seashell set in the annual catalog. So they have a little bit of a heavier line to them, and I knew that they would come out pretty good. If you're going to stamp on canvas or burlap, you need a pretty heavy line image, not a fine line image. So yay! Who else?
Thank you.
Yeah, who else got a gift, a door prize?
I did.
Yay, Jill!
I did.
I got the let's see, let me get this in front of here. The well-suited twine combo pack.
Man
I got
twine.
the manly twine.
I wonder why, for your house of men,
Yeah, so. For sure. And I still have to play with my dies that I got for that. So yeah,
awesome.
For sure.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Who else got a door prize?
I did.
Oh, yay, Kim. What'd you get?
Hey, Kim.
Hi. Sorry, I got the super cute like seahorse pouch thing, and then the ladybug trinkets. So cute.
Oh, nice.
They're so cute. I love them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who else got a door prize?
Did.
Yay. So I did this totally random. I drew them on the random name picker, whatever. So just FYI. What'd you get?
Heart charms.
Oh, those heart charms. They're so cute.
I know.
They're still on my list.
Yay.
Cute.
Thank you.
And the heart charms could make cute earrings, y'all. Like they're really like usable. I can't wait to see them, Patsy. Put them on some clip-ons. Yay, Barbara. Yeah, yeah, Barbara, that was from last month, or from January, because I owed you. So some people got their January door prizes. Some people got their January and March door prizes. Some people, it was a wild bag. Mailing was, it was a big mail out. So yeah, you got your calendars.
Got my calendars. Yeah.
I'm telling you, between Girl Scout cookie season and Snowvid, that was rough, y'all. Like, I got to tell you. But Marianne sold 2,543 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
Awesome.
Wow.
Wow. Woohoo.
Yeah. Wow is right.
Whew. All right. Now I'm tired and I'm going to bed. No, just kidding. But I am really tired. Camping was a lot. Who else got a door prize? There's a couple more. Nobody else that's on. Okay. One of the other sets of door prizes was the vellum doilies. And I know, fancy. And then I think one of the others was the playing with patterns, resin dots. Those are really pretty. The yellow and blue and whatever.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I was playing with those the other day for Easter because they're just so stinking.
Happy.
They are happy. Those are some happy colors, y'all.
Like the ice cream cones. The ice
yeah,
cream.
they do. Actually, they would be really cute with that, I bet, as well. So,
Melissa,
right,
could you tell me a little bit about that stays on ink that you talked about? That's for like if you're going to put it on a canvas bag or something like that.
Yep.
What is there any other use I would have for that? Or
so this
in
is
the catalog, it's stamped a flower, but I don't know the difference between that and just the Memento black.
yeah. So stays on is great if you're going to use water. So if you're going to watercolor an image, right, you want to use stays on.
Oh,
If
I didn't
you're
know that.
if you're going to do alcohol, you're going to use Memento. And that's because Memento is a dye ink and stays on is a solvent ink. If you mixed your blend markers with the stays on, it would ruin your blend marker. So you always want to use your blend markers with this. And you want to use like your regular markers or your watercolor pencils, or if you're going to use like the aqua painter or something like that with your stays on.
Oh, good. I just learned so much tonight. Thank you.
Yay! I'm so glad.
I'd recommend that you actually label the top of both of those, so you don't have to keep
good
looking
idea.
it up. Yeah, I had to label mine. I'm dorked. Yeah.
I used to have mine labeled and then it rubbed off. Yep. See, Patsy's got hers labeled.
Yeah. Smart girl.
So what does that say, Patsy?
I'm smart.
What does it say?
It has my name and it has it works with the blend.
Blends. Thank you.
Yes, so I remember.
It's not just me. Thank you, Patsy. You make me feel so much better.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm not sure why my other camera isn't showing. Oh my gosh, what's going on? All right, hold on.
But this Carolyn too, because it was stamped with stays on. So that
and you put it on, what is that, on tile?
It's a little tile.
Yes.
Did.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I just really learned something. Thank you.
Yeah, I love using the stays on for permanent projects. So anything you can stamp, like people used to stamp like pillowcases and pillow shams and curtains, and I don't know.
I did mugs.
That's right. Jill did
mugs.
all of the mugs with the snowmen.
Yeah.
I like these little card stands or photo stands, and you just
those
glue a
are
little.
Darling. A little tile.
I want to make some of those. I like those.
Yeah, they're great.
Show again.
Oh yeah, here. Let's see. Is it Penny?
Oh, that is cute.
Put your card on display.
Yeah.
That is so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. So these are, I mean, stays on is definitely great for 3D projects or, anything you want to stamp where you want it to stick, and stay. So,
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then we used to, so I was actually going to check because, we had that Stays On Brown that we got for a while, but did they take that away?
No,
Is that
it's still in the catalog.
Oh, good. Well, good. Because I have
Oh.
Never
it.
use it.
Whew,
I
need to
was
get
just
that.
looking at it.
I was
I
like,
need to get that.
I was like, do
Yeah.
I have retired items in my office? Like, oh dear. No.
Well, it was on back order forever.
It was. So this was cool. I don't have a current
That's-
sample to show you, but I ended up stamping this on the tiles, these, and I did more of a nature scene. So I did the dragonflies with the flowers.
Oh, yeah.
And in the brown on the tile, it looked really pretty. And I actually ended up, I made 8 or 10 for that market we did, Jill, and I sold
Oh,
all of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Like somebody came and wiped me out. They bought all of them
Yep.
as a little coaster. So it
And
makes a really,
where'd you get the little tile?
so I went to Lowe's and got a sheet of tiles and pulled them apart. I just used and so they come in these big sheets. Mhm. Yep. And they have some that are mixed size. So there's like big ones and long ones and small ones, and makes a cute wine trivet. So like if you want to make a wine trivet, that's actually how I first got introduced to it, was
A wine trivet?
yeah.
What's
You mean a
that?
cork?
Like a big, I mean, it's this, but you just make it big and you can stamp a bunch of grapes. Like it was like we stamped grapes and grape leaves and stuff on it.
Huh.
Absorbs the water.
A giant coaster for your wine bottle, right?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Gotcha.
You got Jill's attention.
Shoot, man.
It's like,
mine
wine?
don't
What?
last
Where?
on a coaster.
There you go. That's it.
I share with neighbors.
Interesting.
Well,
So-
also, ladies, because of spring and summer, when you're using that brown, the brown ink for like the Stays On or whatever, it makes a softer outline for your softer, like your softer petals, your bunny rabbits, versus
Really?
coloring. Yeah, it looks a little bit sweeter, a little bit softer. It's not so stark.
I will have to try that
Oh.
with my little bunny class and see. I will leave that out on my desk for later. So, I mean, I will say I tend to use Memento 90% of the time because I use the blend markers a lot. Stays On, you have to have a cleaner for it. You have to have the Stays On cleaner because it'll kind of eat at your stamps if you don't clean it off. So, it's not, I don't use it all the time, but it has a really good purpose when I do use it. So,
Well,
yeah.
thanks for explaining that. I wasn't aware of any of that.
yeah. And then I'll show you guys, I'll show you my card, and then I want to see what y'all are up to. My little sweet bunny.
That's cute.
So sweet. All right. So I'm going to take the spotlight off of me and let's see, remove pen.
I like its
Okay.
little flower crown.
It's so sweet, right?
Mhm.
It is.
I really love this bunny. All right. So who else wants to show a project?
Oh, the donkey and the goats. Oh, I love it.
All right. Let me hold it there, Carolyn, and I'm going to spotlight it. So, oh my
Oh, my.
goodness.
That's so
That
cute.
was amazing. Carolyn. All right. Who else wants to show? And then I'll spotlight you.
And
I have one.
Barbara. All right. Hold on. Barbara. Let me spotlight Barbara. Ooh, Barbara.
beautiful.
I laughed when I
Ooh.
saw your card because I did the same thing, only in the other direction.
That's
Ah,
beautiful.
Look at that.
Ooh, hold it up a little bit higher. Let me
I
see.
love it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I like that. That's very
Oh,
pretty.
nice. That's beautiful. Well done, Barbara.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. All right. Who else?
I
I got
show-
one.
Oh.
Oh, let's see. Jill.
Oh,
I didn't get that, but that makes me want to get hydrangea now.
I know.
Succulents. not
That's a
hydrangeas.
succulent.
This is a
Oh, that's
succulent.
Oh, it
a
is?
succulent?
Oh, it is
Yeah.
a succulent. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's beautiful. Oh, I
It
love
was fun. I saw somebody, I was watching a succulent video last night, and they actually took this green and folded it over the pot. and then put the rest of the green sticking up this way. I thought that was interesting with these, to have it go behind the pot and then another set of 2 go up. And I went, oh, that's interesting.
I like
Make
it
that
adds a lot of
cascading look.
Yeah, it adds
plus
a lot of
having it go up.
dimension.
I was
You
like,
have
oh,
a
that's kind of cool.
lot of layers there. A lot of layers.
There's this big layer here. There's the little die cuts that are here, and then the pot. The pot is flat. It's not on dimensional. It's just this is
Yeah, but
on
then you also added
dimensionals.
the wood grain and the white
Yeah.
and the
I
art
did,
around
yeah.
it
and I
and
added the faux finish wall.
yes,
What do you
whatever
call
it's
that thing?
called. Art
I don't
That's
know.
beautiful. That's
I don't know.
beautiful.
Let's see, it's right here. It's called Painted Texture.
Pretty.
Pretty,
Yeah.
very pretty.
Yep, and I think I'm gonna do the last one I'm gonna do is a Blackberry Bliss in the background with
That'd
another
be
succulent
beautiful.
design. I got a class coming up at the end of the month that I rescheduled from Snowvid, I mean, when we were snowed in with no
All right,
water.
I'm gonna do Melissa. I'm gonna spotlight you. Let's see what you got, girl.
Okay, so I don't have a project, but I just got an order for a birthday card. So that's my new project.
Nice.
Yeah. I love it when you do custom work. And you always do such a nice job, and you're very smart. You use all of your retired stuff too, which I love. So good. All right, who else?
I have one.
Well, go ahead.
Ooh, Kathleen, is that you?
Yep.
Let me spotlight you.
So my neighbor had a birthday and he's a big bourbon fan. So
Oh,
I used the
cool.
whiskey business.
What's the DSP behind it?
It's the one from In Good Taste. It's the back of
Oh,
it.
nice.
Yeah. I can obviously work on my blending technique. It's not the best. So I did the best I could. I'm still working on it. So this kit has been helpful because I'll be able to work on my coloring a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't like how stark the difference is, but I only have the markers. I don't have the blends. So I think it might have been a little bit different if I had the blends.
Yeah, and you might get a better color combo using the blender pen and the ink pads. Like you might like that a little better, you know?
Yeah, good idea.
Or using even this on the marker, like pulling from the marker, you know, like pulling from like one marker to the other. Does that make sense? You know?
Okay.
That might be interesting. Yeah, like the markers I love them. Like for instance, I use the markers on the bunny, right?
Okay.
But like the markers are hard to blend. I mean, it's like
Did the
almost,
markers bleed through on the paper on the back like the blends do?
Nope,
No.
not at all.
Okay.
Nope. So good. Okay, who else has got something pretty to show?
Well, we did the magic, what do you call it? That secret magic card with candy the other day, last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't like mine, so I dismantled it and
Mystery
redid it.
stamping.
So I did it in pink.
Pretty.
Yeah.
You're funny. That's cute.
Makes a big difference. Yeah, you know, it's like, well, that was,
Beautiful.
I'm not really good at doing stuff blind like that, but it was fun. So now I'm making a ton of these because I like the way they open.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's like, sorry, I only got one arm here. So I can lift that up.
So how does
So
it
like,
open?
if you didn't go to Southern Sweet Stampers, this thing, well, it did come off. Well,
It's a gatefold, right?
Yeah. So this comes off. It is, and then yeah, I upgraded the inside too, so it opens like that.
Oh, I see.
Pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Very pretty.
Patsy Palmer, you have something to show?
Yeah, I do the sampler.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Oh my gosh, it's so springy.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It came out great. I love that ladybug. Look, Kim, the ladybug charm for the eye on spring.
Are you doing a class?
That is cute.
Yes, I did. I've done it already. I just did it last week.
Now, what do you do with that?
And then you frame it in a 12 by 12 frame.
Oh, okay. That's pretty.
But yeah, because I use, when you get your design paper,
Yeah.
so I use that.
And
Well,
then, that's a nice picture. I like that.
And then mark in an inch.
That's nice to have around your craft room, isn't it?
Yes.
Those pictures, good idea.
Thank you.
That's nice. That's a really pretty one. Who else has something they want to show off?
I have an
Anybody
Easter
else?
card.
Ooh, let me see. Casey. Let's see.
Oh, sweet.
I love the little animals. They're so cute.
They're
Aw.
so sweet.
And it was
Who's
really
Hug
simple.
'em.
Who's gonna get that, Casey?
My nieces are each going to get one.
Okay.
Yes.
Aw.
The exact same. So they can
Yes.
be the same.
Yes, exactly the same. No
Yeah.
differences.
No.
We know how that works.
Yes.
So awesome job. Well, let's see. Andy, you got anything to show us? I saw your really pretty wreath that you were working on, but what you got going on?
I unpacked my boxes today that I got from Stampin' Up finally. So that's my project right now.
Yay.
And that is good enough, girl. That'll be plenty.
Yeah.
So I have some stamp sets that I am excited to use. I got the Nothing's Better Than, and I did the bundle.
Yep.
And then I did the vine design and the thinlets that go with it. And then I also got the handsomely suited. So
nice.
So I figured that's kind of a good variety and a good mix to start playing with.
Yeah, and Candy really likes the vine design. She did a bunch of stuff with it. So go stalk her for some ideas.
And just because I love the Memories of More card pack, I also got the Dandy Garden one that I'm ready to start using.
Yeah, that is super fun.
Yes.
Love that. So awesome. Sarah, you already shared a really pretty card, but do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I haven't really been stamping so much, but shout out to Barbara, came over on the weekend and helped me prep 2 clubs.
Yay!
Awesome.
job.
And playing catch up with clubs. So I do want to mention though that on March 28th, I'm doing another virtual stamping on Zoom. So check the event on C2C Stampers.
Yes.
It should have the Zoom in the event information, and I will be there at 2:00 on time this time. It is an open thing, so if someone gets there before me, you can get right in. So
is that a Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's when I do my class. So
okay.
Oops.
I can move it to another day, like for the next
time. Okay.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll coordinate.
What is the time, Sarah?
I know I was trying to avoid your bingo, and I scheduled my bingo for Easter Sunday, so I pushed it out a week, and it's the week later. So, I have to pay you for bingo.
Yeah, the last one was fun. I really had a good time, Sarah.
Yeah, we just talked about whatever, and just worked on stuff and
good.
Cut some paper.
So any questions? It's 2 to 4 on the 28th, right? Or 2 to 3? When are you doing it, Sarah? 2 to 4? Okay.
4. Okay.
So I won't be there. Sorry. I'll be teaching class. Bunnies. I'll be doing bunnies and lambs and whatever. So and chickies.
So cute.
I know. It's so cute. I'm excited. So it's a busy month, I know. So in terms of challenges, I'm going to hold over the catalog challenge because we're still doing mailing selector. So I think I was just a little premature on that. So, and then, I'm going to have, I'm going to work on getting a little more coordinated on that for sure. And then the creative challenge for this next month is a scrap challenge, which should be good for all of us because at this point, you've probably got some paper scraps sitting around as you're trying to use up some DSP or pieces that you have. It doesn't have to be current. So a scrap challenge is a scrap challenge. So it's non-current. This is the one time when non-current is totally fine. And so I encourage you to, if you've got a scrap bucket, or, you throw your scraps in a pile or whatever, pull them out, play with them, see how many cards you can bust out, see who you can mail cards to. We're going to, quarterly, we're going to be doing Southern Sweet Stampers is going to be doing like a charity. So each quarter, Alicia Fawcett is going to head that up. And so this last quarter, she did birthday cards for foster kids in San Antonio. And so each quarter, we're going to kind of pick something for our Making a Difference project. And so, those scrap cards, those scrap challenge cards are great for stuff like that, because, it doesn't have to have 77 layers and 9 embellishments, and right. Like someone's going to love it because it was handmade and they get a card. And if it's a kid in a hospital or something, like I always look at Sarah's cards, because Sarah's like, she's my old school demo style, right? She's got like 19 layers, and there's like, I don't know, like you're so classic Stampin' Up. I love it. I love everyone's styles. And so, this is very much like use what you have. I know a lot of us have these kind of like partial packs of DSP. I was just looking at one of mine, because, you get to this point, where's that one? Oh yeah, here. You get to this point where you've got like, like I've got like scrap, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to turn this into something usable? These are pretty big scraps. I should be able to do something really cool with them. And so it is a challenge to kind of sit down and say, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to make a bunch of bookmarks, maybe, like I could make a bunch of bookmarks and, tags, or, donate them to the, our school library or something, like there's definitely things that, we can do with our scraps if we get creative. So it doesn't have to be cards. It can be whatever project you're working on. But let's use up that DSP, man. Cause it's going to retire and then we're going to be sad. So, questions. So a list of 10 people that you're sending catalogs to, and scrap challenge. So
yeah. So this is my bucket of ends.
Yep.
Expect to see them on something.
I can't wait to see them.
Good grief.
It would look really
I can't throw them away. I just can't.
Yeah.
Together.
So I have a little bucket by my side as well. This is my bucket of scraps. And so for me, it's like, sometimes it's stuff that like I die cut like, I don't know, 20 of these, or, I stamped this cute bear and I don't know what to do with him. Right. Like I have an extra bear. Thanks, Melissa. You made me stamp that bear a bunch. It could be like leftover embellishments from a paper pumpkin, or, I don't know, like all sorts of really random stuff.
After I made, 20 of something.
Yeah, like I made a whole bunch of these really cute little like in color jars, and
Cute.
and I almost killed my punch doing it, but I didn't do anything with them. I'm like, okay, well now what? So yes, these you will see on something. So, so this is for everything you enter, you put a picture on Southern Sweet, or not on Southern, on CSC Stampers, and just label it Scrap Challenge, do a hashtag Scrap Challenge just to keep my life easy. And then Carolyn, for you and Anne, like I know Anne gets on the Facebook page sometimes, but if you have projects and you want to enter them, you can always just message them to me and I'll enter them for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm happy to share.
And I really don't have, I'm just starting to get a couple of DSPs. Most of my scrap is just all solid colors.
That's okay. You could do something fun with solids.
So I'm going to be nosy here. Casey, have you been on long enough to have scraps?
I have a bucket.
Get out.
See?
I save everything.
Oh my God.
I save, it's funny. So Shelly, this was famous many, many years ago. Shelly Gardner at a convention declared to all of the demonstrators, like there's like, I don't know, 5,000 demonstrators there. She's like, I don't save scraps. She's like, if it's not as big as a card front, I don't save it. And I think the entire audience lost it. They were like, oh, you know, like, how dare you throw out the paper, you know? And she was like, nope, if it's not as big as a card front, I don't save it. And so there are people who don't save their scraps. But you know, for those of us who are spend thrifty, and there will be, so what I do is I clean my bucket out, I lay it all out, I decide what I want to use, and then I will eventually recycle or throw away some stuff. Like I will, like, you know, if it really isn't usable, you know, I'm okay, but it's got to be.
Melissa, here's my
Andy, are
scraps.
those your scraps? Oh my
Yes.
God, girl. Okay, well,
Have a
we'll be
Christmas
seeing.
drawer. I have a Christmas drawer and a regular drawer, and yeah. Whoop.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing some fun challenges from you. So so I will be for these two challenges, we'll be competing for a pop-up trash can. So if you don't have your very own Stampin' Up trash can, I remember I bought a bunch of them with my flex points before they went away, and I've been hoarding them. So so we will get a Stampin' Up trash can. So I'll do one for each of those. So for the 10 people to send a catalog to, send 10, you get an entry. And then for the scrap challenge, just keep posting projects and you'll get an entry for everyone. It's not based on how good the project is. Remember, it's just, you know, A for effort. Yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns, issues?
You'll post the cards, right, that we made tonight?
Yes, I will post the pictures of the cards.
Thank you.
And if I'm feeling amazing, I'll post a PDF with some measurements too. But you'll at least get pictures. And then, you know, I thought I had a PDF for them, but I don't. And I was really hoping, you know. And then what I wanted to find out was for next month. So I was going to do a sampler, a team sampler. And that's what I had slated for next month. How do we feel about that? Are we okay with that for our project?
Again? What? So
Out
would
of
you
the
say
current
again?
catalog? Go ahead.
Oh, so Patsy, you know, she showed that sampler that she had.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you would do is you would make 9 squares and then you send the squares to me, but they're all the same. So 9 of the exact same square. And I'll show you our old one from last year. And then we trade them all. And then you end up with 9 squares from your team members and we make it kind of spring themed. So this was last spring's. I'll show you. So without the, oh, that's funny, but the light is like too bright. Let's see. It's like here. So we had like some aloha and some bumblebees and some mountains and some puppies. This was all from last spring.
Can't see it.
Oh, yeah, I can't see it.
It's
Oh,
your
hold on, girls.
table. Your desk.
Oh, here. Well, then let's just do that.
There.
There we go. I was trying to hold it up the other way. Crazy woman. All right. So this was, so we had spring and we had aloha and we had the mountains. This was all from last spring. And I keep this in my office. It was right behind me. So it can be simple. It can be, you know, it's whatever you want. Kathleen took one for the team and did a double. So good job. So what I'll do is I'll post up if you're interested in doing it. I'll post something up and you can sign up to do it. And then as long as we get, you know, close to 9, then I think we'll be fine. If I have to do a double one or some, you know, we'll figure it out. But and if we get more than 9, that's fine. You'll still just get 9 back. You just won't get everybody's back. And now our team's big enough that can definitely happen. So, and the base measurement, let me get my ruler. So
3 1/4.
Yeah, it should be 3 1/4. Yeah. So the outside cardstock is 3 1/4, and then you can start to layer in from there. So 3 1/4 by 3 1/4.
Are you gonna pick a base color, please? Please.
You're so funny. So I have picked a base color in the past and I have not. This one we did not, and it looked a little crazy. And so there's definitely advantages to picking a base color. I hate picking a base color that not everybody has.
Well, even if
I
it's
don't
white.
I don't have any of the cardstock.
What if you were to say either like subtles or brights or like choose?
Yeah. Or we could do.
Hold on, let me pull my.
I don't think white would be good because most of us are mounting it on a white piece of paper. And so I think white would probably just like wash out. I've done black before.
Okay, now these are the subtles. Now they're gonna be washed out as a background, as a base paper. Okay.
Bright.
In colors, I mean, what are you gonna do with in colors? But your brights maybe for spring, they kind of look springy.
Brights.
Regals are a little bit too strong.
Yeah, that's too fall.
Neutrals definitely not. So that's gonna pretty much to leave you with brights. And even if you took, I don't know, 2 or 3.
I've done 2 colors before. Last time I did this, I based it on the colors that were in the DSP. So, I would be tempted to pick like Flirty Flamingo and, Pool Party or Mint Macaron or something.
Well,
or bright.
Brights.
What do you do if you don't have the colors?
Well, Carolyn, then you send me $1 and I'll mount them for you. Which, by the way, I've done. Someone one year, we picked black and they didn't have black cardstock. And they were like, can you just mount them for me? And so they did the DSP, right? Like they did the layer, they built this and then I just cut the bases. So
I think I'm going to pass on this one this year.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
Yeah. I don't have enough supplies.
And that's okay. I think that we've had years where, people are like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. And years where people are like, that seems challenging. And the time as well, So we would want them to come back to everybody by April. So our next meeting will be 1, 2, 3. So it will be April 19th will be our meeting, right? If I need to mail them to everybody, I would prefer to have them by like the 10th. So I can get them back out maybe the 9th, So I would say you guys probably need to mail these by like April 1st. No kidding.
How about Flirty Flamingo and Coastal Cabana?
I mean, that sounds good to me. I just think that Coastal Cabana, I'm not sure it's in any of the DS. Yeah, I don't know if it's in any of the DSPs either.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
What about Blackberry Bliss and Flirty Flamingo?
Ooh.
I'm loving that because my next thing was Gorgeous Grape. Blackberry Bliss and Flirty. Here it is.
Are we going by the stamp set or by the DSP?
There you go. Look at those.
Or a combination.
Above my finger.
That's pretty. Yeah, and Blackberry Bliss is in the art gallery paper. I think it would go well with the hydrangeas. I think it would go well with the ice cream too.
Ice cream, yay.
Yeah, let's give that a go. Let's do that.
Flirty Flamingo. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. It's different.
Sure.
All right.
Can we add mint macaron in there?
Sure. Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron, Blackberry Bliss. Those are 3 nice colors.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. I kind of wanted Mint Macaron anyway. So, that makes me happy.
I love that one.
Nice color. Yeah.
Long
live.
wild.
Long live mint macaron. Which, by the way, I need to order all of those DSPs. I think I'm out of all 3 of those cardstock colors. But that's okay.
Again.
I got a lot of granny apple green, people.
Old olive and night of navy. I never had to order it because like 3 packs from a long time. And finally
I remember, and you gave me a pack of night of navy. Like you had like 27 packs of that.
I'm finally down because I made a point to use those colors.
Right. All right, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns? I know we met for a little bit longer, but we did some fun stuff. We learned a lot, hopefully.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Good.
Hair looks great, Melissa.
Oh, thanks.
Can you repeat the colors for the sampler?
Yes. Blackberry Bliss or Flirty Flamingo or Mint Macaron. So you pick one of those as your base. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4.
And then are we putting the stamp set or the paper in the team Facebook page just so we don't have doubles? Or
yeah, probably, right? We should probably have everybody like go ahead and comment. Sarah, do you have a picture of the sampler from last year? Can you post it?
Is this going to be spring oriented?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to do some pictures anyway too. So
okay, Sarah, you gonna post it?
yeah, I will.
Okay.
I think
All right.
I can find it.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
Post,
And Melissa, did you say you want to have them by the 1st, or we need to make sure we've got them in the mail by the 1st?
I think let's get them mailed by the 1st.
Okay.
Yeah, which I know, means different things for different people. Some of those I'll get like April 3rd. Some of those, who knows? It really has been a crapshoot, y'all. Like I'm going to tell you, I've been, I had my bingo that's next on this Friday. We're doing butterflies. I mailed 3 to California. I mailed 3 here locally. I really don't know. I mailed a class to someone in California. I mailed it like 10 days in advance, priority mail. It got there 3 days after class. Like, it's been rough, y'all. Like the mail has not, and I thought it was our postman. Like I don't know. I thought maybe he was like keeping the packages like with him or something, So then I was like, well, I'm just going to go bring it to the post office and see what happened. Nope. Same thing happened again. I'm like, well, shoot. So it's been tough. I understand, but as long as you give me a tracking number or you tell me that you sent it, we'll see where it ends up. But
so April 1st.
Yep. Let's get them in the mail by April 1st. April Fool's Day.
Does it have to be from the mini catalog or can it be from the annual?
I think either one, as long as it's kind of springy, summery,
Okay.
Ice cream is not, super springy, but we'll roll, whatever, but yeah.
Okay.
Like Vine Design would be really pretty, what was the other one you got? Oh, the cocktails.
Yeah, the Nothing's Better Than, and then the Handsomely Suited.
Oh yes, the man. I think the man probably less so, but the Vine Design would be good. But whatever you want. And if y'all need to borrow stuff, or if anybody, if you don't have the base and you're just like, hey, here's a couple bucks, mount these for me. I'm fine to do that too. So, as we, roll through the month. Cool. All right. Any questions, any concerns, any comments?
Love these meetings. Thank you.
I'm so glad. This was really good. You guys did awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. And we'll do the sampler next month. And then in May, we're doing a what I'm calling like the Try It class, which will feature some of the new DSPs from the new annual catalog. So you'll get a chance to play and touch and feel the new, some of the new papers. So I'm going to prioritize that on my pre-order so that we've got a fun like launch to the new catalog in May, which is crazy and so soon. And yeah, wild times. So, but looking forward to it all. And thanks. Yeah. Thanks for dropping in. So
thank you. Bye,
Happy
everybody.
Monday. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Melissa, I do have a question for you real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
What address did you send my stuff to?
Yep, that's a good question. Hold on. No, I looked it up in because I looked it up in the thing.
Okay, so then you would have had the Gerald address.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, because I looked you up on my team page.
Okay.
And let's see. So I'm using Pirate Ship. And I think yours I had a tracking number for because yours was because I sent you this packet and I also sent you our packet from January.
Okay.
Yeah, just so that you would have a little fun extra. It says it was delivered. It says it was delivered. So that's always great. It was delivered on, so County Road 311. 1917 County Road. Yeah, Gerald, Texas. It says it was delivered today on the 15th. Is today the 15th?
Yes. Okay. Then I'll run out there and see if it's there.
Okay. And if it's not, well, then someone stole your package.
They should not have, because we made sure we got a little locking mailbox so that they can slip it in, but they can't get it out without a key. So
nice. Yeah, it shows today. And I will tell you, I mean, it's been a booger to get packages places. Like I can do tracking, I can do non-tracked. Honestly, like the fact that Terry got hers is a miracle, honestly. Like
praise be to God. Really?
Praise be. I'm serious, because I feel like she lives in some sort of vortex in St. Louis where like she gets mail like 4 days later than everyone else. Kim as well. Like Kim, did you get yours? She's there, but I don't know if she's there. I don't know. Like she's in Virginia, but like it takes her forever to get hers.
Gotcha.
And then my girls in California, like, those are, no, like they get lost in like Arizona and do like the hokey pokey, and then they like decide to turn themselves around. And yeah, it's, I don't know, like me and the mail system right now, we're not friends. My husband was like, oh, but how much more would it be if you FedExed it? I'm like, have you lost your mind? I was
no,
I'm not FedExing Stampin' Up stuff. Like there's no way that that's cost effective.
Right. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to be back.
I'm so glad to have you back. Yay. When I called Patsy and told her, she's like, oh, yay. So she was all excited. So, so I know she still loves crafting with your mom. So, and your mom's with you guys now, right?
Yes.
That's cool. That's awesome. So yeah, I've seen you guys crafting away. I loved your wreath. It was so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
And
yeah,
this is my break.
It is my spring break, so I have lots to do.
All right, well, go get it done. See you later.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Carolyn.
Bye-bye. Nice to see all of you. Have a good week.
You too. See you later. Bye, Kim. Oh, hey, girl. Hey, did you get your package?
I did. That's how I knew I got the ladybug.
Oh, that's right. The door prize. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, well, so that's good. So we just need to send it like 2 days before I normally would send it. like here's when I want to send it, and then here's when I should send it.
Yeah, I don't know. The mail's just taking forever. Like I think one of the classes I'm in, we're supposed to send each other things. I still haven't received anything.
I mean, I don't know what to do. Like it really is crazy. Like I mean, and I try, like, and this time I sent some of them like a standard stamp, and then I sent some of them pirate ship to kind of see like who would get what, and I feel like, I don't know, I need to look and see. Like, I feel like everybody got theirs though. So, and I did the same thing with bingo. So, kind of playing
it's
around.
just a crapshoot.
I know that poor girl in California. I felt so bad for her. Like, and like, it's weird. Like her other friend who's like across town gets her package, but she doesn't get hers. Like 3 to 4
I mean, like
days later.
yeah, like one friend is missing something I sent, and then the other friend lives like 20 minutes away and got it.
Oh, I got another
No
Christmas
idea.
card back today.
What?
I got another Christmas card returned to me today.
Oh no.
Yeah, another one. I get one at least every week returned to me. What is this? Like March 15th? Like that's insane.
Oh, that is nuts.
And I sent them before Christmas, mind you. Like I was not doing the whole New Year's Christmas cards, right? Like I actually sent all my cards like on time. Like I was proud of myself, you know? Like
Yeah. What was it like? The package I sent to Philadelphia arrived a week after the package I sent to London, and I mailed them at the same time. Yep.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, USPS. It's bad.
I
It
know.
really is. So,
But it's so much
well,
cheaper though. So.
I know. That's why, like, when Jonathan was like, "Oh, you could do," I'm like, no, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
that would bankrupt me. Like, that would be the dumbest thing, you know. But it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to get their stuff. I want people to be able to craft with me. And I know that's why Candy's doing asynchronous classes now. And I think that's why Eric is doing them too. So they're not doing like join me live. It's like, here's a video recording.
Oh.
I wonder why Erica had switched to those this year. And then when Candy told me why she was doing it, I was like, oh,
that makes sense. Because even like priority mail doesn't like guarantee anything either.
No, I know. I mean, I thought that was the deal. Like, I thought it was like 3 days. It's going to get there. No, because that was what I sent to California and it took 10.
Yep.
I was like, well,
yeah.
Why am I?
It was a
paying more
party
then?
like mailbox that I sent to Philadelphia.
And like, why am I paying more now? You know, like now I'm like, well, now I'm just going to do the pirate ship, like $3.53 thing, because sending it priority obviously means nothing, you know? So yeah, lame. All right. Well, have a great night. It's nice to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
Yeah. I've seen you've been doing a lot of calligraphy work and
yeah, I've been taking a lot of classes.
Has it been keeping you busy?
Yes. Yeah. But I've also been taking watercolor classes, which has been fun. And that gets me out of my zone.
Nice. I love what you sent me, by the way. I have it on my desk. Like that one piece of calligraphy. I was like, I'm going to save this forever. Like I have it like sitting on my desk. So I'm like, like I just love, I don't know. I love your handwriting. I love getting lots of pretty things from you. So I always save them. So
yay.
Thank you. Thanks for all your notes and stuff.
You're
so
very welcome.
I appreciate them. So, and I love that envelope. I almost saved the envelope. I was like, all right. I was like, is this weird? Like, what would I do with this? You know, like,
I save all my envelopes when I get calligraphy stuff. So
they're really nice. I mean, you know, it's one of the, you know, yeah, I threw it out, but I felt guilty for sure. I was like, but then I'm like, okay, we're moving. So like, I really can't like, you know, I can't move at all, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, moving sucks.
I'm so not looking forward to this. Like, they're doing like a garage sale here in the neighborhood in April. And I'm like, I'm going to sell me some Stampin' Up stuff. Like, time to, especially the stuff that's been in a couple of BOGOs, you know, like if it didn't BOGO like 1 or 2 times, like,
yeah. Yep.
And
well,
the big
what was
shot,
it like? I still have stuff I can't sell yet because it's not retired.
Yeah. So like I was looking at that the other day, like I guess the Christmas rose I could technically sell now, right? But I mean, there was like a weird year on that. And then there's another one that I couldn't sell either. I was like, those out of publication things are kind of wacky. So
no, because I have, what was it like pumpkin pie, but it's in like the old stamp style. And then I think I have a crushed curry, but also in the old stamp style. So I was like, even though it's not the new stamp, it's still like the color's still not retired.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I don't know if we'll ever be able to sell those. Like,
yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to garage sale them because you won't get in trouble for it.
Okay.
And so like I went ahead and bought all the new inks because I want to have all the same. Like I was finally like, all right, enough. Like I've got about half old and half new.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to garage sale them. Because I mean, like you can't sell them online, right?
Nope.
Because you'll get in trouble. I could use them for kids classes, like that was the only other thing is like the senior center, which I don't want to bring my new stamp pads to the senior center, or the kids classes. So like I could save them for that, I guess, but I don't know. I might just garage sale them and see what happens. Like,
yeah,
a couple bucks. I mean,
I guess if I do a garage sale, otherwise it's not worth it to do a garage sale just for that.
Probably not, but there might be some other stuff. Like I'm going to sell my old Big Shot and stuff too, because I don't want to sell.
Did I
that
tell you
online.
I sold my Big Shot on Facebook Marketplace? I
For
know.
How much? For how much?
I think I sold it for $50 and I charged $20 for shipping.
How did it cost $20 to ship it though?
It actually cost a little more. Facebook
What did you
estimated
send
it was going to be
in?
$20. It ended up being like 24 or 25, so it
send
wasn't
it
that
in?
bad. I found like a big box I had, and I'd kept the original box it came in, so that helped. I'm one of those.
Yeah, that box is gone like 7 moves ago. So like that's not happening. When did I get the Big Shot? Our yellow house in Charleston. So we've moved what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since then. Yeah.
Yeah, I've moved, I guess only like 2 times with this box. It wasn't that bad. So I still had it, but
I mean, I didn't even keep the box for this new Big Boss boxes.
Oh yeah, I didn't either. I don't know why I kept this box, but I had the box.
Fun. Well, I'm glad you did, because that's definitely an awkward thing. I thought about that. I'm like, I might try Facebook local for it and see.
Yeah, I mean, like I did list it as like local and then like an option, like I was willing to ship it, and then I set like a shipping price. So
yeah. All right. Well, I'll give it a try. I mean, I'd rather have some cash in the hand for that,
Yeah, I mean, I think I was willing to give it up for like 20 some local, but I was like, okay, $50 and ship it, and I got shipping paid or mostly paid.
Yeah, that's
pretty good.
That's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So, well, good. Well, nice to see you. Nice to chat. I'm definitely gonna be clearing out, man. Like,
I know.
get rid
I
of
need to
some
clear
stuff.
out.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.